Hi, everybody. My kid got me working out. Hello, everybody. I think I need to get my... Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in while I get my strength training on. So my oldest kid, he is my personal trainer. He's in college. He's not licensed and certified yet. But hey, Miss Peggy, SG. That's my quiet kid. Hi, Shine Robert boy. Welcome, 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 everybody. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Hope you're doing well. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hi, everyone. Say hello. If you're just joining us for the first time, let us know where you're joining in from, what city, what state, what country, and you're welcome in. I was waiting on the inspirational talks. Thank you. My day was fine. How was yours? How many reps do I have in? It's emotional. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. New and old Fiawanella. Thank you, Miss Peggy. I'm sure the Lafia good with cramps. Yes, but it's also good for strength building. So we've been working on that. I think I'm getting better. I mean, I could not even do, and I was actually supposed to have a surgery on this right shoulder. I'm not saying it fixes surgery issues, but I've been experiencing less discomfort on that. Yeah. For our new people on board, here is our sister lawyer. Thank you, Shy Robert boy. Hi, everyone. Hey, TikTok family. How's everybody doing? Hey, Facebook and YouTube. Come on in. Say hello. Hi, Instagram family. Because we've all become one new. Hey, Miss Sophia. How are you? We've all become one big family together here. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So, waiting for... Hi, Miss Sophia. How are you? How's everybody's week? I think this month, not I think, because really, June 1st was like yesterday. And talking of June, today is my younger brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Bankole. That's my mother's, I'm not sure which one is the favorite child, whether him or the older brother. Because, yeah, mother's trying to hide it, but truth be told, we already know sons are mom's favorite kids. Where's the lie? Good thing is that, well, the advantage of having two boys is there's no girl that's going to come to me like, hey, you like your boys, but I just have two boys. I ain't got no girl, so it is what it is. But I'm doing very well, Miss Sophia. Thank you. Hello, Miss Sophia Festo. How are you? Trish Fabulous, welcome. I don't think I've seen that username before. I am me for you. Welcome, 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 welcome in. Thank you, Blink Baby. How are you? Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Say hello. And yeah, like I was saying, this month went by pretty fast. Looks like, June 1st was June 1st was like yesterday. And all of a sudden now we are the end of, hey, Miss Illinois Sanctuary. How are you? All of a sudden we are end of June. Like, okay, where did the time go? But anyway, hi everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale Samuel. Can I put the Samuel there? Because Olale is still Boropo's name. Let me roll my eyes. Roll my eyes. You know when you're really an Ijebu girl? when you get through, tell your friends off. When you're like, that lady crazy. She crazy as hell. I'm telling you, that lady is crazy. Just minding my own damn business, but somebody's got a mess, and it just comes in peace, and then by the time she leaves, it's chaos. But you know that you're a true Ijebu girl when you're going through a divorce, and because you don't want to spend money to change your all your credentials back to your maiden name, you make sure you ask your attorney, hey, please, let's put it in there that the judge orders that I can keep this name professionally, because I ain't gonna be spending no money to change nothing. No, just leave it alone. Um, so yeah, and people stressed are listening. but like you said, she brings spice to it all. But anyway, this is attorney Abisola Adebola Olale. I am an immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if it's a case style that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients. It doesn't matter what state you live in, so we can represent you whether you live in Texas, you live in California, Colorado, Oklahoma, Alaska. I don't know Nigerians, but I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure they are Nigerians. Actually, I take that back. I just represented a client in a VAR case who lives in Alaska. So let me look for another state. I don't think I've ever represented anyone in Montana. Montana. What the hell is it? What that's in mountainside, but what part of the mountains? What is their time zone there? But anyway, it doesn't matter what state you live in, we can represent you in your immigration case. So contact our office, 334, thank you, Mr. Sanctuary, 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalealawfirm.com. info@olalealawfirm.com. That's the email address so you can contact us with. We'll be more than happy, honored, and privileged to work this immigration journey with you. There's a whole lot going on. What about Baltimore, Maryland? I represent immigration clients in Maryland. Like Maryland is the mecca of Nigerian immigrants. Maryland or Texas, which one? Because I used to think it was Georgia, but Maryland, that's Texas, don't compete for where most Nigerians are. It's like everyone is moving to Texas. Everybody I know is moving to Texas. Even people from Maryland are moving to Texas. Like, Kilo Shelley. What's going on? Check out no move to text. I don't think I will. Now, my kid is just gonna be 15, God willing, in the next 2 months. Oh, is she younger? This 18 is still 3 years, oh Lord Jesus. But when God willing, God sparing all our lives still then, when he turns 18, yeah, there may be some shifting depending on how God decides, because I'm still here, and I thank God because this is where God wants me to be. But a big part of that is because obviously I share custody of him with the dad, so I can move wherever I want, but I just can't move with the kid. And I am moving nowhere with my child, nowhere, not leaving anything, no, moving nowhere without my child. So we're just going to stay where we are right now. But I'm licensed in New York as well. That's the huge contender, but we'll see wherever God directs. Because and then if we move to Texas, there's just too many of y'all in Texas. They come on my office and everything. Class is like I'm already dealing with this auntie to my office all the time. I continue, But anyway, what if we can help you with your immigration case? Contact our office 334-341-4475. Visit our website, olalealawfirm.com. Hello, Lioness Tyrio. www.olalealawfirm.com. info@olalealawfirm.com. WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Olale Immigration. Subscribe, share, like, follow. Would very much appreciate that. And by the way, if you are on we'll get to questions later on. If you are on Instagram, one of my dearest friends, Shadi, has a foundation. Mr. Sanctuary, if you would be so kind to help me search Victoria's Smile Foundation on Instagram, and if you put the link, I would very much appreciate that. Victoria's Smile Foundation. So she has this amazing foundation and does this charity work that is geared towards supporting women who are dealing and going through infertility issues and helping them navigate infertility through now having healthy pregnancies, and from dealing with infertility up until they get they safely deliver their babies, and even those who go through miscarriages and all that, they give them support. And she has, she dealt with that with her baby girl. I want to say baby girl, I think she's 7 or 8 now, but this was born based on her personal experience, and she's been doing it for a while. So if you guys will just put in Victoria's Smile Foundation on Instagram, and please donate to that cause. If as a woman who has had kids, and who initially myself had difficulty getting pregnant, you would understand that having issues with pregnancy varies from the time being delayed to people going through IVFs and all that crazy stuff. So if you can, please stop by and visit Victoria's Smile Foundation on Instagram and donate to the cause. This is something and it's geared towards women in Nigeria. So where they don't have access to, the cutting edge, the amenities in the United States or in the UK, whatever. She's based in the UK, but this is geared towards women in Nigeria. So whatever you can to support that cause, we would very much thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sanctuary. God bless you. So that's it at Victoria's Smile Foundation. Please donate. Please, join in that good cause for many, many women that are, the fruit of the womb is his reward, is what the Bible says. And there's so many women who wait on the Lord. And when you have foundations like that are there to support, it makes it a bit easier to go through that. So God bless you as you do so. But anyway, let's talk immigration, y'all. What are we talking about tonight? This is something that keeps recurring when it comes to my consultations. Green card application with pending asylum. Green card application with pending asylum. What do I do with my asylum case that is pending if I get married and my spouse is now filing green card for me? Put it down my shorts. I bought jeans today. Now I've changed to jean shorts, and it's really, really short. Like, y'all, if you know me in my personal life, Auntie Wilder. Anyway, I digress. If you get married, so you came to the country, and when you came in, within the first year of entry or whatever the case may be, you filed for asylum. Your asylum case is still pending. You haven't been called for an interview. And now you are in the marriage and all that, and the person is going to be filing for you. Then the question is, so I'm going through my green card application. What do I do with my asylum application? So and whenever I have a new issue come up on this particular topic, I try to make sure everybody's aware. If you hear me say nothing else, please understand something. If you've got a pending asylum application, and then you file a green card application based on an I-130 that's been filed, or even a VAWA case that's been filed on your behalf, do not touch your asylum application. Do not touch your asylum application. Not only is it a backup, a status or backup immigration benefit, you do not even want to change anything until you have your green card approved, especially under this current administration. In the past, you could do all kinds of stuff, especially under Biden, not like all kinds of stuff, but we didn't have all this anxiety and just turmoil in the immigration world or immigration atmosphere as we have now. So the goal is to make sure that you do not jeopardize anything that's going to make you end up in immigration courts or be put on expedited removal list. Now, the Supreme Court just yesterday, one of the things that was before them was this administration that had filed an emergency stay of the injunction. There was a federal court that had ordered that they could not remove immigrants to third-party countries other than their designated country on their, when they're in removal proceedings, because they just deported everyone to El Salvador or whatever it is they chose to. So there was a federal judge that put in an injunction that they could not do that. And then this administration filed an emergency application before the Supreme Court. And yesterday's Supreme Court, you already know, it's primarily, a conservative on the Supreme Court now. They came back and they decided with this administration saying that they're going to actually grant the stay that the federal district court put in place. So basically, they are removing that stay, and this administration can continue to deport immigrants to third-party countries, whether or not it is a country that person is from. So third-party country, obviously, is that's saying that's not where you're from. It doesn't. So they can deport you to a third-party country unless that deportation to that country is going to violate the Convention Against Torture Act. Like they really care. We already know they don't care. So I say all that to say this. If you can prevent a situation where you are going to be placed in removal proceedings, that is the best scenario. So in order to avoid that, when you've got a pending asylum case and then you file a green card application, is to leave your asylum case where it is, because the asylum application pending the interview authorizes you to stay in the country until a decision has been made in your case. Even if you are now, referred to immigration court, it still authorizes you to stay in the country until a judge makes a decision in your case. So if you now have a green card application that you file based on a valid petition, based on an I-130 petition, and because of that, you decide now, does a pending green card application authorize you to stay in the country? Yes. But here's the potential risk in that. Because this administration is looking for every single reason to just refer people in place, they're boasting about how many thousands of immigrants they have now referred to immigration court. If you send a request to them, I'm talking to request, just remember something. Okay. If you send a request to them asking to withdraw your asylum application, in spite of having the green card application pending, then you're all going to open up yourself to the possibility of them still referring to immigration court, because having a green card application does not stop USCIS from still issuing an NTA to immigration court. So, and then another thing, which is a big part of this, is if you withdraw the application just, without any reasonable explanation, you don't want a conclusion that you filed a frivolous asylum application. Because if there is a conclusion by USCIS that you filed a frivolous asylum application, that is going to prevent approval of any other immigration benefit that you're going to request. That's one of the penalties of a frivolous asylum application, which is something that you also have to attest to, that you understand. So the best case scenario, and so like the person I met with today, they were like, okay, someone told me to withdraw. I just wanted to get a second opinion. I told them, no, leave your asylum application where it's at. Number one, you have your pending green work authorization based on that. You can file another category work authorization based on the green card application, but you have your CA work authorization, leave it as is, keep working. If you have to, that's fine. Even the more the merrier, right? When your green card is now approved, then you can contact USCIS and let them know that, hey, I've sought asylum, so I can stay here permanently because I feared persecution back home. But I've achieved the same goal of permanent residency by a marriage-based green card. And I'm requesting that, to withdraw this application now, because obviously I have a green card. Send a copy of your green card with your request letter, and tell them that you're now requesting that to withdraw the application, because now you are a permanent resident. There's nothing that's going to, unless you commit a crime or something, but there's no basis now for them to refer you to immigration court. Most of the time when you send that request, USCIS will send you another letter saying, hey, we've been informed. Like, I'll see you were not the one who informed them. But anyway, they say we've been informed that you are now a legal permanent resident, and since you have a pending asylum case, if you want to continue with your asylum case, respond to this letter, acknowledge this letter, and let us know if you want to. If we do not hear back from you, we're going to take it that you're no longer pursuing your asylum case, and we're going to close out your file. So that's how you go about handling a pending asylum case when you file for green card application. Now, have I had people who I've actually represented a guy who had an asylum application. He just got his bar green card. When did Mr. Kobe get his bar green card? A month ago. That was a very risky move he made. Very risky. But he did that under the Biden administration. Doing it now is highly, highly risky. Best case scenario is just leave it as is. If you ain't broke, don't fix it. Once you have now done, once you now have your green card, then at that point you can go ahead to now withdraw your application. And another thing is this: God forbid, if your green card application is not approved, but you still have a pending asylum case with USCIS, that still allows and prevents them from giving you an NTA, because you still have an immigration benefit that's pending that they still have to adjudicate. So that's it's a backup plan really for you, and also to just see how your green card application case goes. I think we have beaten this horse very, very many times, but if it helps one more person to have a clear understanding of why why I suggest that, then my work is done. All right, that's all sure, people. That's all sure out. Okay, let's get to and put your questions in the comment section. I'll get to as many as possible. Please do not repeat your questions. If your question is not answered, that's because you repeated it. So I'm just going to pass through it. So let's try to get as many answered so that hello, Mr. Kovina, I just talked about you. Hello, Mr. Gabriel. How are you? Thank God we thank God. We thank God for life. As long as there's life, there's hope. There continues to be hope. As He gives us each new day, which is a blessing to have a new day, which we shouldn't take for granted. We keep moving. We keep moving. We keep moving. We keep moving. All right. Okay. Disclaimer. Thank you. We respect each other. No negative comment, language, or insults. Please don't repeat your questions or put your questions in the comment section rather than comment box. I need to hire you. I'm telling you. Let me see. Can we hire one more person? Let me ask my my accountant to make sure. But we need hello, Epic Movements. We need to hire Miss Sanctuary for real. Just put her on payroll. But I will make you work though. I'll make you work. Like Epic Movements. What are we doing for our birthday this year? Because I'm like, what? Chapter 47 is coming up. You're like, I'm just about 3 years away from 50. Like, how in God's name does that even make sense? Do I even look for? I don't think. I like. Where did the time go? Like, I have a 20-year-old child. As long as I'm working alongside TJ. No. We can't hire you and TJ. It's not the Last Born Association law firm. That's not what it is. No, y'all need to go. So, my son may end up in law school. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. My son and TJ. Pray for me, y'all. Because, if that kid goes to law school, have to put people on speed dial because argument in multiple. Hello, Miss Nilechi. How are you? Gorgeous lady. How are you? Okay, let's get the questions. Disclaimer, nothing specific to anyone's case. This is just general information. Mr. Gabriel, it was so great to see you 2 weeks. I'm not going to wait 2 weeks. I was asking you, we ran into each other at the airport in Atlanta, and I was asking her, like, did you know I was this tiny? Because a lot of people, I have a very, very commanding voice. Like, you would know if I'm in the room. And so when people talk to me on the phone, they're always like, she's got this very strong personality. And then they meet me in person, like, huh? Like, where's the rest of you? Well, there you have it. And I didn't know Mr. Gray was 6. I think he's 6'4". So I'm 5'1". But my license has 5'1". Let's just leave that alone. To you, if you're writing to the law, I'm telling you, but the argument in my house is going to be too much. I can't do it. It's just like arguing with myself. Can you imagine arguing with me? Like I'm agreeing with me. It's going to this guy. That's no. That's going to be too much. Um, but so I'm 5'1". Mr. Gabriel is 6'4". And I had on sneakers that because usually I'm wearing heels, but I have had because whenever I travel, I have on sneakers because I ain't going to be doing heels with all the running around, especially Atlanta airport. Not doing it. And so I was looking at him like this. He was like, oh well, it is what it is. It was great seeing you. Good evening. Sending love from South Dakota. Hi. I got my green card in less than 5 months. Congratulations. On my previous marriage was customary and I followed all your instructions. Oh, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate that. God bless. God bless you too. And congratulations. That is record setting. 5 months. I think the fastest I've had was 2 months, but that's even anything under 6 months is listen. Those are cases I call unicorn cases. So congratulations, Mr. Saturday. We rejoice and celebrate with you. And previous marriage customary. Talking about that customary marriage issue, y'all need to stop getting documents from customary court. I have an RFE someone retained me for today. And in the RFE, USCIS is catching up to this. This is about the third RFE I'm seeing that they've specifically said that, based on reciprocity schedule and the requirements for Nigeria, you don't even need a customary court, a decree from a customary court. It's an affidavit suffices. So we are wondering why you had to go. And this particular one, they went to town, like that. Not long and short that we're wondering why you had to go this length to get documents from a customary court that now we have questioned because it doesn't look like a customary court is going to have the verbiage of what a high court decree is going to have. Y'all, I've said it several times. Just Shani can attest to that. Quite a number of clients. Just do your darn affidavit and call it a day. Africans are like that in man to everything. Document no cost wala for. This is the divorce decree is the right is about the number one reason why most of these cases are denied. And then you got to now deal potentially with waiver because they're going to allege inadmissibility of fraudulent documents. What is that to me? That's all I can say. But there you go, from someone else who just went through that. What is petty offense exception for citizenship? It basically means that it's not going to affect for green card applications. It's not going to affect your, and usually it's applied. The petty offense is not necessarily citizenship. They apply usually for admissibility issue. So what it's considered petty offense. It's not about whether or not it's petty offense. It's about whether or not it's going to affect your good moral character requirement for citizenship. So if you're not sure about what it is that your offense, what impact is going to have, then you want to sit down with a lawyer. Okay, can I adjust? I live in Florida. Okay, leaving Florida, 2023, Biden parole cut short. I-94 expired, but I have valid TPS, August 2025. YFLPR filed I-130. Priority date is current. I could die. Can TPS bridge adjustment? This is something you sit down with a lawyer for. There's a whole lot going on in your case. Y'all have to understand this forum is only for quick responses, general information. That's too specific for me to be telling you, yes, you can, without you sitting with a lawyer. If you're trying to avoid consultation fee, you're not doing yourself any favors. Can you refile your case after being denied? If so, will the interview be more tough than before? Whether the interview is going to be tougher than before, it just depends on who your interviewing officer is going to be and what your previous case was about. Do you have a lot of discrepancies that is now going to be presented an issue? And so there's no telling whether it's going to be tougher because without knowing what happened in your previous case. But can you refile your case after being denied? Absolutely, especially if you've got new evidence or additional evidence to now address the issues that were the grounds for the denial. Hey, Miss Christiana, how are you? How is green card life treating you? Always good to see you. I'm always honored and humbled, and thank you. When I see quite a number of my clients, in Epic Movements, Miss Christiana, in the Sanctuary, Finest Shani, come back even after getting their green, because years after getting their green card, and they come back and still join us. So thank you. Hello, Miss Mary. Hello, hello. Okay. All right. Mr. Gabriel, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I was like, he's tall. Like, what? I was like, is it not he's tall and short? See, the good thing about we shorter women, like we can wear heels and be tall. And then once we're done with the heels, we can get back to no. But y'all tall women, like 5'8" and above, you can't be shorter than 5'8". You're stuck with being tall. We just try to make ourselves happy. Miss Ellen Sanctuary, how tall are you? There has to be people. There has to be people shorter than me. Who's 5 foot or less? Come to the front. All y'all 5 foot or less, come to the front. 10/10. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Okay. Rakim, hello. How are you? Can one adjust his status when you came through the borders without I-94 with an American citizen? Generally, no. You must have legal entry. One exemption, however, would be if you are filing an abuse-based green card application and you did not enter more than once, or if you entered more than once, you can attribute that subsequent entry to the abuse. Blink baby, don't let me skip. I would have skipped your question, but because you made a comment that's why I didn't skip it. But please do not put your questions more than once. My wife just do his fingerprint. I mean, you mean her fingerprint like 3 weeks ago. How long? Anything about how long the processing time for anything? Go on USCIS.gov/processing time. Can you help with a case in Florida? I represent immigration clients in all states. Immigration is federal practice. So it does not matter what state you live in. It's just a matter of preference whether the attorney wants to represent you or not. My son was approved and has his interview coming up. Does the petitioner need to be there? He's 18. Your son was approved for what? What was there approved for? And it has an interview coming up. I'm not sure what you mean by approved for what. Hello, Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓. How are you? We should be getting your card soon. It's been 2 years and no response from USCIS I-130 of my husband, and I have green card. It's going to take about that length of time. Yeah, because you're a green card holder. And Rosie, I would have skipped your question. It's a very simple instruction and request. Don't repeat your questions. Okay. Unrelated question. Can your lawyer report to USCIS and get your green card canceled? If you did anything that requires the lawyer to report, meaning that the lawyer becomes aware of a crime or a fraud, as attorneys, we are required to report such things. And especially if it's going to jeopardize that lawyer's license. So in cases like that, it's almost a mandatory report that one has to make. Earthly color brown, thank you. So it's possible to adjust status even in remote proceedings, as long as you came in legally or you've got an alternative to adjusting status. You can actually file your I-485 before the immigration court, but just make sure that you are you qualify. It just depends on what you qualify for. So you have to understand adjusting status for immigration court is just not automatic. Are do you qualify for cancellation removal, whether it be VAW or the 10-year Do you qualify for? But generally, you have to come in legally in order for you to adjust, even if you through marriage, even um, if you've overstayed. But then, whether or not you now qualify for adjustment of status, if you didn't have a legal entry, then it would depend on your specific facts and what you are eligible for. Is it safe to do constellation? You mean cancellation removal? There's nothing unsafe. I mean, the law is still working. Just I want to be very clear. Nothing has changed. The law is still the law. Nothing is going. But it's just that because they're trying to circumvent the law. That's why we have so many lawsuits. And thank God we live in a country where the law actually works. So it's just that it's just too many litigation, too much litigation going on. Thank you. I agree. Luke 37. Yeah, you saying that because ignore the gray hair. The gray hair is highlight. is highlights. Just it's fashion. Can someone out of status apply for EB1A? So the EB1A petition is different from adjustment of status. Can you apply for an EB1A petition? Yes, you can. Whether or not you now can file green card application based on an approved EB1A petition is now where being out of status will come into play. So petition is one thing, adjustment of status is another thing. Okay. Can a green card asylee travel internationally with a passport? You would need to, if you got your green card through Asylum, then you need to apply for a refugee travel document. Came on a visa at 7, overstayed in TPS since visa expired. What can I do to stay in the US? 21 now. Sit down with the lawyer to figure out what your options are. Can someone with advanced parole through marriage travel? Anything about travel, I'm not going to answer that question. Talk to your attorney about that or schedule a consultation with an attorney to discuss that. Can my girlfriend file to get a green card an abuse claim, even if not true? It has to be true. You can't just make up story to get, USCIS will send your request for evidence if they don't believe your story. You have to have evidence of that. Okay. Yeah, very nice stuff here. Happy Tuesday, Miss Mary. Shalafia. Absolutely. Okay. I had my 10 years interview today. Okay. The officer asked for my previous divorce decree, which I don't have. The officer told me she would send a request for additional evidence. The request for evidence is a divorce decree, which I don't have. I heard you saying affidavit, but I don't understand. Miss Adiba, I will be glad to speak with you on in a proper paid consultation. You can go on our website to schedule that. So we can figure that out. olalayalawfirm.com, or that's the easiest and fastest. Or call our office when we open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Alabama Central Standard Time. We're closed from 12 to 1. Okay, let's go on Instagram. Where's TJ? It's about Chrissy Joseph. A little quiet. A little quiet is what his dad. A little quiet is what his dad. So I always look forward to listen. I love my kid. I love. Listen, I leave. That's my life right there. But in order to function as a mom, and that's one thing that we have to embrace, especially growing up in a culture in our society where it's everything you do is for the kids. You stay in a miserable marriage just because of the kids. So my boy, can you one more time lose my feet? That's why it took me as long as it took me to get to file for divorce, because it was, I know you have to stay for the kids. And I got to where I was like, if I'm not mentally stable, I cannot function or be a mom. I can't. So since then, I've been able to take time for me so that I can actually be the best mother that I can be. Because if you're not okay, the prayer is that Allah might replace, we never be replaced in the lives of our children, So whatever is for this, that it's like we gotta refuel and recharge. Get ready for another week. We even did, but oh, I'm going to put a picture. I did his hair. So this week we did twists. His hair is actually getting much longer. So now my oldest kid is like, oh, I think I want to try to. So like, roll my eyes because I told him first. He was like, like really asked, how does his hair get longer? Well, told you. Told you. But here's what is that. Thank you for asking him. He may actually be on the live. Can we talk about how you look so good? How you look so good too? Thank you. So that's a question I've been getting to, and viewers like, what's going on? I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and so now I'm on medication. And I was diagnosed when I was with arthritis, so I needed to make a change. And after I had, obviously, well, if you know, I had surgery 6 months ago. So yeah, but we just leave it as that. But yeah, and my dad passed away from complications of high blood pressure, and I'm the only one out of my siblings who now has everything he had, including those 𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒏𝒕 malformation. So needed to make some changes. Tell your friend to avoid your office. Not friend. Let's see. Okay. Is that Nigerian food there? If the answer is yes, full representation. Well, you're wrong with Senator Sancton. There's got to be Nigerian food there because whenever I go, especially when I go to a new state that for work, especially, I have to look for. There's got to be Nigerian. I don't know. I've been in this country. It's going to be 23 years next month. I just don't know how to eat that. American food doesn't have seasoning. It's just so thorough. What? I don't even make like the only reason I cook is because I have to feed my kids. But my kids would eat like if I make jollof rice. My mom had to teach me that, but I make some really really badass jollof rice. Excuse my French, but my kids would eat, and I make everything I make for my kids is actually in the Nigerian way. Like for instance, I was telling TJ he doesn't want to try this our palm oil beans. What is that thing called? So I'm going to try this next week for him. So my kids will eat American food. Now, do they like their pizza? Yeah, but and they have taste for ethnic food. So they eat Nigerian food first. They will eat after that Mexican food before American food. Now, do they like their burgers and pizza? Yeah, I mean that's just American style. But no, I just cannot. So I've got to find Nigerian food. We've got to find the Nigerian food. Like there's no food. There's no food like Nigerian food. The variety alone. You will just be so hungry. Does your client get their social security card with their work permit? I think you asked that question last time, Ms. Sophia. USCIS is not sending that anymore. I believe I answered you the last time. You're going to have to schedule an appointment at the social. Some offices do walk-ins, but you have to. It's better to just make an appointment at the Social Security office. We're not getting that. Like I think I said, the last one we got was someone who got her green card. Miss I got a green card last week, and that's the only one they just sent an updated social security card for her. But you're going to have to go in to apply for one. They're not doing it anymore. Thank you, Miss Under Sanctuary. Very, very much appreciated. I have a vow filed now 3 years and 1 month. No RFU, but just. I think you mean curious on the issue of divorce. I came in with married but never married. Just put it there. Now I submitted customary on my file. So what's your question? You shouldn't be saying, but anyway, what's your question? I'm not going to say your name. What's your question? Hello, Mr. Henry. How are you? I filed for my green card via approved EB1 and I added my spouse. Now she wants a divorce after approval. Hope this would not affect me in the future. Benny Gold. So you have the green card now. Do you have the green card now, or were you the petitioner or your wife was the petitioner? I'm trying to understand. Okay. Oh well, Dollar is me is well. Were you the petitioner, and do you have the green card already now? In the case where someone's conditional green card expires May 2026, and the person wants to travel to their home country in August, do you think it's? I'm not going to answer a question about travel unless if you're not a client of mine. That's not you. I would direct you back to your lawyer or schedule a consultation to discuss your case and see what may be in your history that may be a problem. If I plan to remarry and file for my new wife, hope it wouldn't affect her. I'm worried. Still, you haven't answered the question I asked, so let me see. Have a pending asylum case, 3 years. I haven't heard anything on the case. What can I do? Yeah, 3 years is not long. There are cases that have been pending since 2016, 27, pending an interview. So you haven't waited long at all. I wouldn't even worry about it. It's there. And then because we know what this administration did during the first term, that's what they're going back to. They're scheduling interviews for cases that were filed recently. So it's not surprising that you're going to be waiting even much longer. What if you're called for an asylum interview but currently have a VOT pending, and together with the fact that your asylum case is not strong enough, advise risking to go for the interview? And that's happened to one of my clients. What we did was to request that they hold it because we have a pending VA case. Now, it would depend on, this is very, very specific to each asylum office. Some are very, very lenient and very understanding. Some will just straight up just still reschedule. So you may want to reschedule or just straight up ask them to pause rescheduling their asylum. But keep in mind that's going to pause your work authorization if you have that, if they honor that request. My VA is 38 months this month. No RFEs and normal based on experience. Not hearing anything from USCIS. It's taking them about, they're averaging 42.5 months now. What phone number can I reach you on for consultation? 334-341-4475. It's on our page. If you go on our bio, it's right there on all our social media platforms. Is it true that if you're a permanent resident, if you travel from the 25th of June, you will not be able to come back? Who says? What law is that? Mr. 𝐸, you're actually, I didn't know you were that tall. 5'8"? Are you serious? I mean, that's tall for a woman. I think the average height of a woman is like 5'4" or something. I know it's not 5'1". 5'8". I didn't know you were that tall. Girl. You're going to give me like 4. Do you wear heels? Don't wear heels when I see you. Because I'll wear heels, but you wear flats. I'm attending green card through VA. My spouse is a U.S. citizen and we're still married but separated. How long I'm eligible to file for citizenship? 3 years since your spouse is a U.S. citizen. So whether or not you're still married, even if you're divorced, you still qualify for citizenship based on 3 years. Line is too real. 5'10". That's tall for a woman, though. 5'10". Well, that's equal height. My mom, I'm taller than my mom now because she's obviously older, so she's shrinking. But my mom's height was like 5'2". My dad was actually a tall guy, but I think my dad was 6'1" or 6'2". But I decided to go my mom's way. Let me roll my eyes. Yeah. So my oldest kid, they said the reason why they're not tall, but my oldest kid is, I think, 5'7". So he's not really that. He's not short, but he's not tall. Because I married someone who's not even tall either. But TJ looks like he's going to be the tall one in the family, and he's the one that told me that if he's not tall, it will be my fault. So thank God for vindicating me. Because let me roll my eyes. I'm telling you, this American kids. I need to call you. We'll be glad to talk to you. 334-341-4475. interview is coming up on Thursday. Any tips, please? If you go on, if you, I'm assuming you have a marriage-based interview. If you go on our website or even on Instagram, there is an ebook that has about 100 questions that you can practice with your spouse. It's free to download. I am 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. How tall are you? Leave us tall ones alone. We still wear heels, shy. I am 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. How tall are you? Can what heels for? Like, what do you want to gain? What exactly do you want to get? Leave the heels for those of us who need the heels. Okay, if you're 5'10", Miss Lioness and Miss Ernest are 5'8", what you what? You want to be scraping the sky? 𝒘𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒒. Like, whatever. Let me roll my eyes again. Okay, let's see. My case was denied and our I-290B was dismissed. Can we refile the whole petition? Me and my spouse just had a baby together. You can. Nothing says you can start again, but you may want to consider using an attorney this time around. Okay, you just went from you and your wife, Razi, and now it's your friend. Okay, but whoever it is, yes. We have to reduce live shows to once a week. You work too much hours. Example, we're agreeing to once a week. Thank you. Hey, listen, it is what it is. I am the petition. Okay, I'm not worried about you. If it was the other way around, then it would be a case maybe you were waiting for a person to get your green card, but you were the EB1 petitioner. If the person left you, there's nothing you can do about that, and you moving on with your life doesn't stop you from petitioning with someone else, especially because it's employment related. So you should be fine. You have the green card. Don't worry about that. My friend received RFE for VAD case twice. Is that normal? That's been happening now, Miss Geraldine. It's been happening. I actually have a case where they retained my services for the RFE, and then we got yet another RFE for the same darn thing. Excuse my French. What we're seeing with you, and this is something in my association where they're looking into, maybe there's lawsuit that needs to be filed. It looks like they are trying to either buy themselves time. Everyone is getting the same RFE. It's the same verbatim, same thing. The only difference is they're just putting a check mark, an X mark on the ones that they're not even telling you what is. So in this case, for instance, that we responded, I think it was in April, very detailed. I mean, it was almost like a 200-page something, whatever. Came back and asked us for RFE for the same darn thing. I'm like, it's something, so we don't know what it is. Almost 10 years of doing this work, I haven't seen that happen. The worst, what we usually will see is if they send you an RFE, it's still not sufficient, then they send you a notice of intent to deny, because now we've reviewed everything you sent us, but it's not. But to send you an RFE for the same thing, so if you're getting that, you may want to. I know there are people who are in groups, but that's something that is ongoing, and everybody's getting the same thing. Nobody is even telling you, okay, this is what's wrong with your case. It's this. They just put in a check mark and sending. It's just a name that's different. So it's unusual. Let me put it that way, Miss Geraldine, for what is going on now. It's very frustrating, but it's unusual. So. There was one that it said a good moral character. We've already sent in letters, sent in FBI background check, police, state police, police clearance. And I'm like, okay, no criminal record. What else? So it looks like somebody is just sitting, or maybe they hired someone to just say, hey, just send this because we're understaffed. It's already past process. I really don't know. But we're just, and a lot of my colleagues too, were just seeing craziness like that. I heard a lot of cases where a person married to a U.S. citizen to adjust their stay was denied. I haven't heard anything like that. Let's see. I love to wear slides and sandals, all flats during summer. Winter has been wearing. Okay, so we can do a flats in summer. That's fine. I'll wear my heels. I want to file a 3 years based marriage citizenship application. 3 years staggered, but 2 of them were filed under head of house, so 1 filed jointly. Will it be a problem? I can't answer a specific question that way. Sit down with a lawyer. Miss Busala 5'8". Oh, gal. And you all these tall ladies. Oh, gal. Where? Oh, along normally. Along normally. Just leave us. 3-inch heels, really. That's not too much. So then you'd be 5'11", almost 6 foot. What do you need it for? If you want a approved ISL 65 and I 131 approved, waiting for I-45, can I update my answers now since I'm moving from F1 to green card? If you want a approval, you can't update anything because you don't have the green card approved yet. Okay. I thought that was all. No, there's nothing to it. Your status hasn't changed. If you have your case denied and you were given 30 days to leave the country and you filed in for val after are you still eligible? Are you still eligible for what? Okay. Anita is 4'9". No, you got to be kidding me. Like she is only 3 inches shorter than me? No way. Olalua, you're welcome. No way. Are you serious? It's amazing how, like, TJ loves to do that. Like, whenever I'm talking to him and he's right in my face, she's only 9. How tall is her dad? Got it. 4'9". It's true story. I'm not even kidding. I have 3 siblings, right? I remember back when we were leaving in 1004. I really thought I was going to be tall. I think something happened in my childhood. Where's my mom? I have to ask her questions. When I tell y'all that I was the tallest out of my siblings at some point, I'm telling you, I was taller than all 3 of my siblings. Now I'm the shortest. It's like something, we are only 1004. Something fishy happened because it just like everything just turned around. I was like, what? But it's all good. But anyway, okay, my I-45 interview based on approved VI is coming up soon. This is my second interview. Oh, wow. Why? I'm a little bit nervous. Any tips, please? Had Nigerian divorce RFP, which was submitted and that was approved. I'm hoping you have a lawyer. There's some things y'all just cannot be penny wise, pound foolish. I'm not saying you're foolish. That's the adage. There's some things you just, and I say that to say that there's some things you just have to sit down with the lawyer to discuss. There's some things it's just not about yes, no, this is what. Sit down with the lawyer to discuss. We're talking of things that are going to permanently change your life for the better. Why take a risk? I mean, people are like you're talking because you're a lawyer. Okay, but those who now end up getting denial or request for evidence and notice of intent to deny, it's a 100% impact on them. So why not try to help yourself in the beginning? And even if your lawyer is just sitting there, you don't need them to say anything at the end of the day. But at least sometimes having the presence of a lawyer keeps USCIS immigration officers in check. You just never know. So this is not, so if you're having a second interview, this is not the time to be for any tips. No, this is the time for you to sit down with a lawyer to figure out what should you do differently this time around. But anyway, okay. I think I will call tomorrow to schedule. No problem. All right, people. I think we got through as many questions. So I think we did questions on Thursday. So maybe next week we'll do another question round. I just graduated from the university. The constitution fee is a bit higher than my budget. Okay, sorry. Can a conditional green card holder travel? I'm not into travel questions. Let's see. All right, I think I already answered the question. Okay, I'm laughing in French. This is like amazing. It's angry. He's laughing. Laughing French, laughing Spanish. I'm telling you, there has to be something. Laugh for you, because they go shock. Oh, shock me go. But how can auntie get tall with that? I was really feeling myself like okay, I was tall because I have photographs where I was towering over everybody. I was feeling really good, and then I blinked, and everybody's what in God's name happened? Give a shalake. Like my younger says, everybody's telling to me. Like, what? Give me shit. But we will leave it alone. God knows best. But then again, enemy lo sharp out of all my siblings. God is not, is a just God. He was like, okay, They have funny sharp mouth, yeah. So I'm the one who says things. All my three siblings will just be quiet, or they say I'm the one who says it loud for everybody to hear. Like my mom was like, I'd be so like, hey, cut everybody on, yeah, but why? Let's just say. But anyway, listen, y'all. There's a lot going on in the immigration world, but things are not stopping. Keep filing what you're eligible to file. That's the one thing that you want to make sure you do, because this is not the time to let's see. This is not the time to be trying to figure out if you qualify for something or not. This thing TikTok always does. Okay, whatever it is, I'm the last born and taller than every one of them with sharp mouths. At 5 foot, then now they're Harvard nonsense comment. So listen, that's the way it should be. Help share this video on your page. Yeah, it's always, we always upload it, so you have it on the page. And if you go on our video section, all lives usually there. But we aren't going to give up. We're not going to be afraid. We're not going to let fear reign, because that's what this government wants to do. They want people to live in fear, and so that people are living on their own, or whatever the case may be. Remember this, that if God be for you, who dares to be against you? God has brought all of us to this foreign land, and if he has destined us to be here, we're not going to live here in disgrace. We're not going to live here in shame. We're going to fulfill that which he has brought us to. So in doing your own part is making sure that you do what you're supposed to do, and just believe that it is going to work well. All things work together for our good. The plans he had. So for instance, people always ask me, what is it on my tattoo? I have Jeremiah 29:11, because it's a constant reminder that there is nothing that I'm getting myself into that's going to that's my pathway, that's not going to bring me to an expected end. And so I remind you also of that as well, that there is nowhere in the Bible that says that God's plans for you is not going to be fulfilled. It says not an iota of my word is going to pass by without being accomplished. It does not return to him void. If he has spoken it concerning you, then it has to come to pass. So regardless of the anxiety, of the fear of mongering, or whatever the case may be, get the information you need, get yourself educated, be informed, sit down with a lawyer. If you're representing yourself per se, do your own research, but know that whatever it is that he has destined for you, you're going to fulfill. It shall manifest in you. So don't let fear cannot win. Faith is going to we are going to be triumphant in faith. And so, like I said one time, whenever all things, people are going to be around you saying all kind of stuff. If you have to change your circle, then that's what you need to do. Surround yourself with people who are going to be encouraging and speak life into you, not take you the path of death. Not physically, but figuratively speaking. And if you see yourself getting in the way of getting into a panic mode, then it's time to get on your knees and pray. It's time to get on your knees and pray. There's nothing prayer cannot fix. I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a wonderful